Hi everyone, eu sou a Vivian Ribeiro da Viva Idiomas e hoje com mais uma T-Talk para vocês. Nosso convidado de hoje é um cara muito legal, um cara super inteligente e ele vai falar com a gente direto de Oxford. Robin Gemmell, hi there!
Hello!
How are you? Can I see your mug?
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay, one more T-Talk for us. Robin, first of all, I'd like to thank you for talking to me, for sharing some of your stories with us. It's a pleasure talking to you. And to start with, can you tell me, you are from Oxford, right?
Yes.
Were you actually born there?
I wasn't actually born in Oxford. I was actually born in a place called Preston, which is in northern England. I actually moved, after university, I moved from Lancaster down to London, and then I moved up to Oxford to work. So I've been living in Oxford now for about 8 years.
Okay, that sounds great. And what do you do there?
I work as a clinical coder, so it's a very technical specific job. It's working in IT with computers. What to do with data, actually. So I work in hospitals and I work with data.
Okay.
And I do this job all around the country.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds cool. Robbie, Oxford is a very famous city for its university, all right? Which actually many people think that the university has only one address. I actually thought that myself as well, but when I went there, I saw that it isn't actually like that, right?
That's correct. Oxford and Cambridge are very different to most universities in England. Oxford has the university is made up of over 30 different colleges. So when you're actually in Oxford, you will be looking at the colleges. You won't be able to point to them and say that's the university, because the university is actually just made up of all the different colleges.
Okay, and what do you like most about Oxford?
That's a very tricky question to answer. I like Oxford because it's very pretty. The nickname of Oxford is the city of dreaming spires. When you actually go to Oxford, when you see a postcard of Oxford, you can see all the spires of the university, the buildings sort of pointing towards heaven, and it's a very pretty sight. Sometimes you can walk around and you can just feel you're somewhere very, very different because it's so pretty. And you can actually climb up some of the buildings and you can actually see from some of the spires, you can see what the university is like from above, and it's quite amazing.
Okay, I would say Oxford is quite a lovely city. I loved it, so charming, and I think Oxford's just perfect. And still talking about the city, what do you do in your spare time? How do you enjoy your free time in Oxford?
So I have a few hobbies. One of my hobby is astronomy. So I actually have my own telescope and I take that out into my back garden and I like to stargaze. So that's one of my hobbies. I also like to cook. I'm a vegetarian and I like to get different ingredients. I go to the market in Oxford and I like to do a bit of cooking. I also like to read. I like to go to the gym as well. And sometimes I just like to go to a coffee shop and just relax and just read the news, something simple like that. That's what I like.
Okay. Robbie, now I'd like to talk about some serious stuff, Brexit is everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. It's on the news. We see it everywhere all the time. Would you tell us if you voted to remain or leave and why?
Okay. It certainly is a very popular topic now. It's on the tips of everybody's tongues. I actually voted to remain.
I thought so.
Yes. It's interesting you say that, actually, because I think that reveals something, that a lot of the younger people in this country voted to remain, and a lot of the older people, they actually voted to leave. So there's a big gap there. And that's why I think a lot of people are actually quite bitter about the results, because even though a lot of the elderly population voted to leave, a lot of the younger population, whose future they consider it is, they feel quite bad about that because it's our future.
Yes.
So they feel like someone else has actually made a decision for them.
I see. And I also heard, I have myself here a Scottish mug because I want to talk about Scotland. I want to ask you, I have heard, Robbie, that a second independence referendum is highly likely due to the results we had in Scotland, also Northern Ireland. Do you believe that?
Well, Scotland firmly voted in favour of remaining, unlike England. I think it is possible. The one thing that's important, that the Scottish SNP minister, Nicola Sturgeon, she has to make sure that if there is a second referendum, then the Scottish people, unlike before, they actually vote to become independent. So they have to be sure of that. Also, they need to make sure that the British Parliament will actually agree to it. That's something else that needs to be considered.
All right.
And of course, it all depends on what happens with the UK and Europe, their relationship. So we're in uncharted territory here, so anything could happen. So we could quite well have a second independence referendum in Scotland, but we don't know what's going to happen.
Nobody knows, yes.
Right, that's right. If you look in this country, two of our political parties are sort of in meltdown at the moment, the Conservative Party and the Labour Party. So there's a big period of change happening. So it's quite unnerving.
Okay. And now to finish, I have one last question for you. Could you teach us any expression or some slang that's being very used in Oxford right now, or maybe your favorite one? Can you teach us something?
Okay. Well, it's difficult to give you an expression or an idiom that's used in Oxford, because it's very... People who go to study at Oxford, in Oxford, they're from all around the country, so it's a big sort of melting pot. So there's no specific...
It's such a cosmopolitan city, isn't it?
Excuse me?
It's such a cosmopolitan city, isn't it?
Very cosmopolitan city. I like the expression, the phrase, chin up, keep your chin up. So when when you're feeling down, your friend is feeling down, you might say to them, keep your chin up, chin up. That's quite British, and it's sort of, it helps someone to look up, to be a bit more optimistic rather than looking down all the time.
Okay, very nice. Robbie, it was really nice talking to you. Thank you for your time, for our tea talk. It was really nice talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ok, pessoal, essa foi mais uma Tea Talk. Se você gostou, não esquece de curtir, compartilhar, deixar seus comentários e até mesmo sugestões para os nossos próximos Tea Talk sessions. Maybe, estou misturando inglês com português. Alguma coisa que você gostaria de saber, algum tópico que você gostaria que nós abordássemos nas próximas Tea Talk, ou um sotaque diferente que você gostaria de ter contato, de ouvir, de conversar. Enfim, deixe seu comentário, curta, compartilhe e viva um mundo sem fronteiras.